Before we get started with the video, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my amazing patrons, Adam M, Dom M, and Hunter B. If you'd like to support me, we currently have trial memberships available if you'd like to get a feel for the program. You'll receive weekly posts from me, updating you on current and future projects, and also some glimpses of channel analytics. Once your membership becomes official, I will give you a shout out and message you to welcome you aboard. If you're interested in joining, information will be below. And now, on to the video. Since the Bo Horvat trade recently went down, I decided to bring back the trade talk. You know, where we have fun exploring the potential destinations for certain players, that kind of fun. We'll be going over each player's current situation, where they could end up, and why it would hypothetically make sense. And with that, here are 5 NHL players that could be traded very soon, and where they may end up. It seems like pretty much since the 2022-23 season commenced, Timo Meier's name began to echo in the rumor mill constantly. If you enjoy just trade rumors in general, then you know very well, similarly to Bo Horvat before he was traded, Meier has been connected by some insider somewhere to almost half of the league. But if we take a step back and really analyze this team, well, it makes sense for Meier to be on the trade block. As most of us know, the Brent Burns trade really made the rebuild happening in the Bay Area seem more realistic. After making the conference finals in 2019, the Sharks haven't had a sniff at the postseason. Therefore, it's pretty plausible in order to stock up on draft picks and look forward to the future. GM Don Greer will be open to dealing the Swiss-born forward. And so far in this campaign, Meier has done everything to entice potential suitors with his performance. With nearly a point per game notched, with 48 and 51 games played, Meier has recorded 28 goals throughout. Currently, a pending RFA, Meier is on a pretty modest contract that sports a $6 million cap hit. An interesting article from The Athletic suggests that Meier would fit in nicely in New Jersey. Since he can play on either wing, fellow Swiss player Nico Hischier is there, and they're making the playoffs. There's plenty of reasons as to why this could work. With the cap being an issue though, if Greer does agree to retain about $3 million of Meier's salary, then this would allow for the forward to be inserted into the Devils' top 6. When Max Domi initially signed a one-year deal with the Blackhawks, the idea was that he would be traded at the deadline. Domi, who came to the Windy City searching for the offensive prowess he once had in Montreal, has definitely improved this season, as Domi has managed to score more than 11 goals already in this campaign, for the first time since his days as a Hab. So far, the forward has recorded 35 points in 48 games played, with 14 of those being goals. Therefore, things have pretty much folded out just as GM Kyle Davidson was hoping for. Domi has boosted his trade value and now presents himself as an enticing rental for teams looking for some extra offense. Since Domi has been traded a lot since he departed from Montreal, the consistent contender for Domi has been the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's no secret that GM Kyle Dubas and company will be looking for a depth piece or two as the deadline approaches. Domi, as we know, has ties in a way already to Toronto, since his father Ty was a staple in Leafland years back. Max, for this reason and others, has been tied to the team. Also, another Canadian team that possibly could seek out Domi's services is the Calgary Flames. Insider Frank Saravalli over at the Daily Faceoff listed Domi amongst others that could be summoned to Calgary. Since GM Brad Treliving has limited funds to work with, Domi's cap hit, ideally, would be easy to add to the books. Things haven't exactly went as planned this season in the Show Me State. By saying that, I mean the Blues were expected to at least be in playoff contention and to not have a below .500 points percentage as well. Therefore, we can expect GM Doug Armstrong to be quite busy this deadline, making an effort to shake things up. And along with Ryan O'Reilly, another main piece he may use to do just that could be Vladimir Tarasenko. Ever since formally submitting his trade request, Tarasenko has been linked to several teams. And since the Islanders are probably off the table, another destination could very well be the Carolina Hurricanes. For a while now, we've known that the Canes have been waiting to add to their offense up front. Another incentive besides the team's place in the standings for Tarasenko could be the fact that his good friend Teuvo Teravainen is in the lineup. This is according to the ESPN Sports Talk host for St. Louis. I'll link the article below, but they also suggested that the forward would waive his clause for the Vegas Golden Knights, Carolina Hurricanes, and the Boston Bruins. Having Tarasenko on the first line, along with Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov, could be lethal for teams to face come this postseason. The only kicker here per se is Tarasenko's $7.5 million cap hit. If St. Louis is able to retain some of his salary, then GM Don Waddell may decide to bite. However, Waddell is notoriously known for not wanting to trade for rental players. Therefore, that's another piece to the puzzle that could hinder the trade from happening. So far this season, Tarasenko has recorded 29 points after 38 games played for the Blues. And now a quick reminder for each and every one of you to stay hydrated. To save 20% off your order on liquidiv.com and to get free shipping, simply use my code AlyssaHope in all caps. Link will be below. And now, back to the video. Ever since the Chicago Blackhawks began their downward spiral, the Patrick Kane New York Rangers connection has been also imminent. The longing that Rangers and NHL fans had to see Kane reunite with Artemi Panarin in the Big Apple was pretty understandable, as Kane and Panarin put on quite the show while both were playing for Chicago years ago. However, at this point in time, it's really hard to fathom Kane being dealt to the Blue Shirts anymore. Whether it be age, morale, or playing for a struggling team, well, Kane's numbers have been pretty underwhelming in this current season. Right now, even though he's still relatively productive for his team, Kane hasn't been playing like himself. Currently, Kane has a negative 3.2 goals above expected. His shooting percentage is lower, and surprisingly, he's missed the net more than anyone on his team, out of forwards, which is rather troubling because this is Patrick Kane we're talking about. Apparently, Panarin has been slower this season as well, while trying to build chemistry with Mika Zibanejad, following Ryan Strom's departure. If GM Chris Drury did want to trade for Kane's services though, it still would be doable financially if the Blackhawks withheld 50% of Kane's cap hits. Since Kane is older than Tarasenko, Meier, and most high-profile pending free agents, the Rangers also wouldn't have a lot of assurance that he would re-up with the team. An article from The Athletic is also indicating that the Hawks are currently proceeding as if they aren't expecting to trade Kane or Taze at the deadline. Therefore, it will be interesting to see what happens with both of them here shortly. Kane, who's 34 years of age, has notched 34 points in 45 games played so far this season. Similarly to JT Miller last season, Erik Karlsson has been showcasing his best during his contract campaign. Currently, the defenseman has recorded an impressive 66 points following 51 games played. And of course, similarly to the Patrick Kane situation, the Sharks have also reportedly been open to retaining some of Karlsson's salary. However, the most recent offer coming from the Bay Area was an 18% retention offer, which still would leave his AAV at just shy of $10 million. And the asking price allegedly is 3 first-round picks. Even though the asking price does appear to be pretty steep, if Karlsson remains at the level he's been at recently, it could be worth it to a contender. While Karlsson has been linked to Ottawa due to his history there, another team that's emerged as a landing spot for him has been the Edmonton Oilers, with names such as Jesse Puljujarvi and Dylan Holloway on the trade block. This would help GM Ken Holland to clear some cap space in order to bring Karlsson in. And it just so happens that the Oil also have 3 first-round picks to offer as well. Obviously, Holland would need to do some cap gymnastics, but for the longest time, it seems Edmonton has had a glaring need on the back end. If Karlsson decided to waive his no-move clause, he could very well have a shot at capturing Lord Stanley along with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl this spring.